Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, some good news. DAZN have rejected Canelo versus Yildirim for the WBC vacant world title. They want a better fight and they would rather have Canelo versus Callum Smith. And I think we will all agree that's a fight we would rather see as well. Who wants to see Canelo batter Yildirim for, I don't know if he could even last 3 minutes, one round with Canelo. What's the point? So that is a meaningless fight. It's a fight that Canelo can win quite easily. And boxing isn't easy. And I'm not saying that he can just get in there and it's just going to be a walkthrough job. Well, I kind of am. But ultimately, it's just not a good fight for Canelo. Canelo is at a higher level to that. Look at his last 5 opponents. Then you go Yildirim. Come on. He's set a precedent. He's set a standard. Continue with that. He is an elite level fighter. He should not be in there with a C level fighter because that's what Yildirim is. Now, WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman said that Canelo requested to fight Yildirim for the title, and that is one of the privileges he has as a franchise champion. And the franchise champion can decide who they want to fight over all other fighters. They decide who they want to fight. They are not dictated to by any governing body. They just say, I want to fight this guy for the vacant title. Make it happen. So Canelo can happily just go and choose anyone, as long as they're in the WBC rankings, to fight for that title. Now obviously Yildirim is ranked number 1 by the WBC in the super middleweight division for some unknown reason, because his last world title fight was with the WBC in February 2019, which he lost anyway in a vacant world title fight. And he hasn't fought for 18 months? And he's still number 1. How does that work? I don't understand it. How is Canelo able to just go and say, okay, the WBC belt was vacant, so give me him, then I'll fight for your title? It shouldn't work like that. It should be ordered, and Canelo should have a hard fight for the WBC world title. Nothing should be given in the sport of boxing, and fair enough to Canelo, he's worked hard for everything. But still, there should be a tough opponent in there for the vacant WBC world title. Because, come on, do they want to make history, or do they just want the belt to be essentially a joke? Fight for a vacant title against a C-level opponent just because he's franchise champion, and he can do that because that's part of his privileges as a franchise champion in a different weight class. In the middleweight division, he's jumping up to super middleweight and fighting straight away for a vacant world title. That's not even in the rules of the WBC. That's the WBO rules. If you are champion at a lower weight class, move up, you become mandatory. What, have the WBC suddenly adopted that as well as the WBO? Because we didn't know that. It seems like these rules of the franchise championship seem to be coming out every single day. Every day that passes, we get a new rule, and it seems to be like they're just making it up as they go along. This suits us, so yeah, that's part of the franchise championship because that makes things easy for us. Canelo can go and fight who he wants to for the vacant world title. Well, I'm glad that DAZN have said, no, that fight cannot happen for the vacant WBC world title. We want a better fight, aka Canelo versus Callum Smith. Finally, because they're paying Canelo a lot of money. They're paying Canelo like a set amount. It doesn't matter who he's fighting, so they want value for money. They cannot pay Canelo the ridiculous amounts they are paying him to fight Yildirim. They need him to fight Callum Smith or someone like that, because they are paying Canelo a certain amount of money. They cannot afford to put Canelo on in a gimme fight because they cannot pay him, especially in the current climate. They need him to fight a good opponent, a top opponent, a world champion, Callum Smith. That is the only fight that makes sense, and I'm glad that they have rejected Canelo versus Yildirim. I don't know whether they will still push ahead with this fight and try and get it done or not. I hope not. I hope we get to see Canelo versus Callum Smith, because that is the right fight for the vacant WBC world title. That is the fight DAZN are pushing for. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.